Trip planning can be a daunting task. Are you looking for a little clarity and inspiration to get your trip planning started? Where do you begin? How to plan your next trip? You're in the right place. During this video you will find the answers to all these questions. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. We will be happy if you find this video useful. Planning a trip can feel like both the most exciting and the most overwhelming part of travel. You want your trip to be a success, and that starts with a right fit destination. But planning a trip doesn't have to be the source of constant anxiety and overwhelm. This can happen whether you're planning your first trip or you're a seasoned traveler. What kind of experiences do you like? To have a memorable trip, choose a destination that allows you to have experiences you enjoy. Do you like relaxation or adventure? Beaches or mountains? Summer or winter? Cities or countryside? Resorts or road trips? Festivals and culture? Shopping or food experience? Luxury, mid-range, or budget? Are you the type of person who likes to sit by the pool all day with a book? Or would this bore you to death? By answering these types of questions you can narrow down your list of where you want to go for your dream trip. In a continuing effort to help you get out the door and into the world, we have created this step-by-step guide on how to plan your trip in 10 steps. Just follow this best 10 steps to plan your travel, and you'll be off in no time. Step number 1. Research your costs. Before you can even begin to plan your trip, you need to take a good look at your finances and figure out how much money you have to spend on your trip. This will dictate a lot of the future steps, including where you can travel to and for how long. This step might sound scary, but we've broken it down for you so you can create your very own customized travel budget. Don't let your budget stop you from traveling somewhere. Even the most expensive countries have budget options like hostels, where you can cook your own food, free city tours and public transport. You are going to need to be creative, but that often makes it more fun. Step number 2. Choose the destination where you want to go. Your second step in how to plan a vacation is to choose a travel destination that meets your interests and travel budget. Are you planning overseas travel or a domestic trip at home? Either way, the whole idea of taking a trip is to have a memorable time, to have fun and relax, and not to spend your whole vacation time worrying about money. This step may seem obvious for some. Maybe you already know exactly where it is you want to travel, and that's why you're planning this trip in the first place. For those of you that have a destination nailed down, there are still a few things we have suggest you consider. You can skip right down to the research step. For those of you that have the itch to travel, maybe even the vacation time set up, but still have no idea how to narrow down just one place, we suggest looking at a map. Literally look at a map and start circling all the cities, towns, or attractions you want to visit. Look on Instagram for inspiration. Don't limit yourself. What do you want to do? What do you want to see and experience? When planning a route, we typically look at other trusted bloggers' recommendations. Get specific with your plans. Get detailed. The more focused and concrete your goal, the easier it will be to actually reach it. Step number 3. Decide how long you want the trip to be. Are you going away for a week? A month? A year? If you only have 1 to 2 weeks of vacation time per year, don't waste too much of that time traveling to and from your destination. Plan your trip accordingly. But if you have 2 to 4 weeks, or over a month, you can look at taking an overseas trip or traveling further away within your home country. The length of your trip is a huge factor in determining how much money you need. Spend some time mulling that over until you have your answer. Step number 4. Will you travel solo? When you plan your trip, your destination choices can be affected by your traveling companions. Are you going to be traveling solo or with a partner? A group of friends, or with your family and children in tow? Take a moment to answer this question. The answer to this question can help shape your trip quite a bit. Traveling solo will give you the freedom to go anywhere you want. No compromising. You just go wherever the wind takes you. However, it means you have to do all the planning yourself, which can seem daunting if you are new to trip planning. Traveling with someone means you have someone to help plan the trip with you. It will make researching your itinerary faster, and you will have someone to spend time with on the road. However, it also means you will need to compromise sometimes. Perhaps on meals or activities or accommodation. It will just depend on you and the person you travel with. You have found somewhere you really want to go, but no one wants to go with you? Don't let this stop you. Go solo. Step number 5. Book flights for your trip. Next important step in planning a trip is to book your flights. As a traveling family, if it's an overseas trip and a long-haul flight, we like to plan our trip so we get to our destination as quickly as possible, with the most amount of comfort and facilities our budget allows. If it's your one and only dream vacation for the year, and you only have 1 to 2 weeks, we recommend you pay the little bit extra for a premium airline and fly direct to. The most important sites for finding cheap airfare are Momondo, a great platform for finding really cheap flights. Skyscanner is one of the best websites for searching multiple destinations at the same time. Google Flights is great for open searches to multiple destinations. All the links for the recommendations made in this video can be found below in the description. Step number 6. Things to see and do. When you plan your next trip, you will want to know what are the must-visit tourist attractions and the best free things to do in your chosen destination. As much as we like to just show up, some trip planning is a good idea, especially if you are visiting a popular destination in the peak travel season. To make sure you have budgeted properly, outline the major activities you want to enjoy during your trip and how much they cost. Make any last-minute adjustments to your savings so you can ensure you have enough money. This will also help you figure out if you need any reservations for your chosen tours or activities. Search online for discounts as well. While some countries offer cheaper prices in person, others give discounts to those who book early online. For shorter trips, you can also book your activities in advance to ensure you get tickets. For longer trips, book as you go. Step number 7. Book your accommodation. Depending on how long your trip is, you may choose to book all your accommodation ahead of time, or none at all. For instance, if you only have 2 weeks, it might be best to arrange your hotels or hostels online, so you don't waste precious time trying to figure out accommodation when you'd rather be exploring. Plus, you don't want to run the risk of everything being booked up. If you are traveling long-term, however, you may just book a few days at a time. Or you may prefer to wing it and walk into hotels once you arrive in a town. Once there, you can get insider advice from your hotel hostel staff as well as other travelers. You can then use that info to plan your next steps. While you can book more than your first few nights, you might end up wanting to change your plans once you land. You must put a lot of consideration into where to book your accommodation when planning a trip. The most important sites when you can finding the best deals on accommodation, Booking.com. Booking.com is the best overall platform for finding budget hotels and guest houses. They have the biggest inventory and best deals. Airbnb, the go-to site for private rooms and apartments owned by locals. Agoda. Agoda has the best results if you're heading to Asia and the widest selection of properties in the region. Look up things like, how much should a taxi cost? Is a cab the cheapest option? Or do cabs at the airport take advantage of tourists and upcharge them like crazy? Can I get a cheaper fare by walking down the street and hailing a taxi? Is my hotel right off a local bus or train line? Can I take transit from the airport? Is there Uber or Lyft? Is it legal, and is it safe to use? Is there Wi-Fi in the airport? And so on, until you know how you are getting from the airport to your accommodation. Travel planning tip: whenever you make a booking or reservation, Take a screenshot of your details and confirmation number and throw it into your master document immediately. You will be able to tell at a glance what you have already booked and what you still need to. Include absolutely everything: flights, hotels, tours, tickets, anything you have paid for. Step number 8. Pack smart. Time to pack for your trip. Thinking about packing can be stressful when you are planning your trip, but the best thing to do is pack the bare minimum, because you can always buy it there. Select versatile, comfortable and loose-fitting clothes in neutral colors that can be worn in multiple combinations, so if something gets dirty you only have to change part of the outfit. While what you pack will depend on where you are going, remember that you don't need to pack everything you own. You can buy things you need on the road. You can do laundry overseas. At the end of the day, you have to carry everything you bring. So bring less. Step number 9. Get travel insurance. Once you have booked your flights, it's important to protect your investment by getting travel insurance. Why? While a lot of people think, "I am healthy, I don't need travel insurance. I won't get sick," travel insurance is much more than just medical protection. Travel insurance is designed to cover you when your camera breaks, your flight is cancelled, a family member dies, and you have to come home, or if something gets stolen. Yes, it's an added expense. But it's always better to be safe than sorry. I never leave home without it, because I've seen firsthand just what can happen on the road. How to minimize risks while traveling. For peace of mind, make copies of important documents such as passports, visas, flight tickets, itineraries, hotel reservations, rental car reservations, tour bookings, driver's license, credit cards, and anything else you booked for your trip. Are you planning for overseas travel to a high-risk destination in regards to health? Depending on where you plan your trip in a particular country, it's important to get the right advice for any necessary vaccinations before you travel. Your safety and health are essential, and in some instances, you can't travel unless you have proof of having been vaccinated. Step number 10. Enjoy your trip. It's time to go on your trip and have fun. Head to the airport, board your plane, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. If you're feeling nervous, don't worry, that's perfectly normal. You're about to embark on an amazing adventure, and that's a huge change. Feeling anxious or nervous or unsure is something every traveler experiences. But you've made it this far. Trust your planning, follow your instincts, and you'll have the trip of a lifetime. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you have friends who want to travel for the first time, you can recommend this video. If you want to continue receiving advice about travel, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.